Have you ever wondered how small habits can transform our lives? James Clear explains that success doesn't come from one big leap, but from improving small, everyday actions. This book is built on a simple principle. If you improve just one thing each day, by the end of the year, you can become 37 times better. Imagine waking up each morning with a positive mindset, taking small steps toward your goals. These steps may seem tiny at first, but over time, their impact can completely reshape your life. This book is for anyone who feels stuck, anyone who wants to break harmful habits, and anyone who dreams of achieving great success through consistent small improvements. James Clear uses his own story, a life-changing accident, and his slow journey to rebuilding himself to show how powerful habits can be. They can become your greatest strength or your biggest barrier. The purpose of this book is to teach you how to build good habits and break bad ones, one chapter at a time. Your habits determine your future. What you repeat every day becomes your identity. Are you ready for this journey? Stay tuned to Audiobook Prime to learn the secret of creating big results through small habits. The Big Power of Small Habits. Chapter 1. Create big changes with small habits. Imagine you're sitting on a plane traveling from Los Angeles to New York. If the pilot changes the direction by just 3.5 degrees, passengers won't notice anything. But instead of landing in New York, the plane will arrive in Washington, D.C. That is the power of small habits. Small changes don't show immediate effects, but over time, they completely transform the direction of your life. How habits work. Habits shape your brain. When you first learn to drive, you must pay attention to every detail, pressing pedals, shifting gears, steering carefully. But after enough repetition, everything becomes automatic. Habits save your brain time and energy, but if your habits go in the wrong direction, they can quietly become your biggest enemy. The 1% principle, James Clear says, improve just 1% each day. A tiny improvement each day can make you 47 times better in a year. But if you get 1% worse daily, your progress drops to almost nothing. Small habits shape the entire path of your life. How bad habits form? A story. Ronald, an office worker, came home tired every day. One evening, he bought chips and a cold drink on his way home. He ate them while watching TV. The next day, he did the same thing. Soon, it became part of his routine. At first, it felt like relaxation, but after a few months, he gained weight, felt less energetic, and became more tired. Bad habits sneak in quietly and eventually take over your life. The habit loop, 4 steps. Every habit is formed through 4 stages. A. Cue, something that triggers the habit, feeling tired. B. Craving, the desire that follows, wanting relaxation. C. Response, the action you take, buying chips. D. Reward, the feeling afterward, comfort. This cycle repeats until the habit becomes automatic. Can habits be changed? Yes, but only if you understand the 4 steps. To break a bad habit, recognize the cue and change your response. To build a good habit, use the same cycle positively. Your habits guide the direction of your future. To succeed, you must build the right ones. Chapter 2. How to build good habits. We become what we repeatedly do. Excellence is not one action, it is a habit. Building good habits is not magic, it is a simple, repeatable process. A new beginning. Robert, a software engineer, lived an unbalanced life. His irregular schedule affected his health and energy. One day he decided to change. He began waking up early, exercising, and reading a chapter of a book each day. The first week was difficult, but slowly, these actions became part of his routine. Within months, his life transformed. This is the power of good habits. 4 rules for building habits. Make it obvious if you want to form a habit. You must make space for it. Example, if you want to study in the morning, place your book where you will see it first. Shape your environment to support your habit. Find habits that support the habits you already want to build. Make the habit attractive. To adopt a habit, it must feel enjoyable. For example, if you want to start yoga, play your favorite music while practicing. Connect the habit to something you desire. Make it easy. Whenever you start a new habit, make it small and simple. If you want to begin jogging, run for only 5 minutes on the first day. Make the habit so easy that refusing it becomes difficult. Make it satisfying. Habits only last when they give you a feeling of reward. For example, if you complete your habit each day, Mark it on a calendar. This small reward keeps your motivation alive. Small beginnings create big transformations. James Clear says, real success comes to those who understand the power of tiny improvements. Building good habits takes time, but everything starts with small steps. 10 minutes of studying each day can help you excel in competitive exams. 10 minutes of yoga each day can transform your health. Focus on the system, not the goal. Goals show direction, but systems create results. If your goal is to lose weight, don't focus only on the number. Build a strong daily system of healthy eating and exercise. A goal brings temporary success. A system brings success again and again. Do's and don'ts. Schedule time for new habits. Make them a part of your daily routine. Start small. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't make habits difficult or complicated. Don't try to build too many habits at once. Have you ever thought about how your day would change if you started it with one good habit? Choose one small habit today and begin. Chapter 3. How to break bad habits. The direction of your life is shaped by your habits. If you break bad habits, your future will automatically begin to transform. Bad habits harm us, yet they are the hardest to break because they often bring instant pleasure. But James Clear explains that every bad habit can be changed. The story. Ryan's transformation. Ryan, a college student, spent hours every day scrolling on social media. He knew it was hurting his studies and his future, but every attempt to quit failed. One day, he made a firm decision to change. He used 4 strategies. He deleted every social media app from his phone. He created a fixed study schedule. He promised himself a small weekly reward for staying consistent. Whenever he felt tempted, he took a deep breath and asked himself, is this helping me reach my goal? Within months, Ryan broke his addiction and ranked among the top students. Why bad habits form easily? They are simple and require little effort. They provide instant pleasure, even if they create long-term harm. They repeat daily until they become part of your identity. 4 rules for breaking bad habits. Make it invisible. Remove triggers from your environment. Example, if you eat junk food late at night, stop keeping it in your house. Make it unattractive. Remind yourself of the long-term damage. Example, each time you feel like smoking, remember the harm to your health. Make it difficult. Add obstacles. Example, if you overspend online, remove your saved card details. Make it unsatisfying. Hold yourself accountable. Example, tell a friend to give you a consequence if you repeat your bad habit. Replace bad habits with good ones. Instead of eliminating a bad habit completely, replace it. Choose healthy snacks instead of junk food. Take gradual steps. Don't try to change everything at once. Identify the habit change process. Identify the harmful habit. Understand the root cause. Create a practical plan to replace it. Be patient. Change takes time. Today's task: choose one bad habit you want to change. Identify it and begin replacing it step by step. Chapter 4. How to maintain good habits for the long term. Habits only benefit you when they remain part of your everyday routine. Success comes to those who reinforce good habits over time. James Clear explains that starting a habit, going to the gym, eating healthy, studying daily, is easy. But after a few weeks, most people slip back into their old routine. Why? Because habits don't become permanent just by beginning them. They only become strong when you maintain them consistently. The story of Rachel's success. Rachel was preparing to become a lawyer. She created a study routine, but after a few days, studying began to feel heavy and stressful. Every day she wondered, can I really do this forever? Then she applied James Clear's principle: focus on the process, not the outcome. Rachel decided to study for just 30 minutes each day. She made the habit so simple that it felt easy. Gradually, 30 minutes grew into 1 hour, then 2 hours. This simple technique helped her top her law exams. Why habits break? A. No immediate results. When progress doesn't show quickly, people lose motivation. Example, when someone doesn't lose weight immediately after going to the gym, they quit. B. Loss of enthusiasm. Motivation is high in the beginning, but it fades after a few days. C. Lack of consistency. If you don't repeat a habit daily, it slowly disappears. How to maintain habits? A. Start small. Keep the habit simple. Example, if you want to read 10 pages a day, read 1 page on the first day. B. Stay consistent. Repeat the habit every day, even if only for a short time. Example, if you can't go to the gym, do a 5-minute workout at home. C. Don't obsess over the goal. Focus on the actions that move you toward your goal every day. Example, instead of saying I want to become an officer, say I will study 3 hours every day. F. Remove obstacles. Make the habit easy to follow. Example, if you want to run in the morning, prepare your clothes and shoes the night before. 5 things to remember. Track your progress in a calendar or notebook. Seeing progress builds confidence. The 2-minute rule. James Clear teaches that the easiest way to start any habit is to begin with 2 minutes. If you need to study, read for just 2 minutes. If you need to exercise, move for 2 minutes. If you need to meditate, close your eyes for 2 minutes. Once you begin, it becomes easier to continue. Make habits fun. Add something enjoyable to your routine. Example, if studying feels boring, enjoy your favorite tea afterward. Pair habits together. Connect a new habit with an existing one. Example, read while having your morning tea. Include a friend. Building habits together makes the process more enjoyable. Be patient and embrace the journey. Habits take time to build, and maintaining them requires dedication. Small changes lead to big transformations. Today's question, which good habit do you want to maintain for the long term? Start tracking it and make the process enjoyable. Chapter 5. The deep connection between habits and identity. One of James Clear's most powerful lessons is the connection between habits and identity. Your habits shape your identity, and your identity shapes your habits. A habit won't become permanent unless you start seeing yourself as the kind of person who lives it. The story of Andrew's new identity. Andrew wanted to quit smoking. He tried many times, but he kept failing. Then he tried a new strategy. Whenever someone offered him a cigarette, he said, "I am not a smoker." Slowly, his identity began to shift. He started seeing himself as a healthy person. Within months, he quit completely. This shows that habits are not just actions, they become part of who you are. 2 steps to changing your identity. Decide who you want to be. Ask yourself, what kind of person must I become to reach my goal? If you want to live a healthy life, become a fit person. If you want academic success, become a disciplined student. Strengthen your identity with small wins. Every small habit is proof of your new identity. Every time you run, you tell yourself, I am a runner. Every time you study, you reinforce, I am a serious student. Behavior versus identity. Saying I study every day is behavior. Saying I am a hardworking student is identity. Changing your mindset makes habits feel natural. When you begin seeing yourself as a certain kind of person, it becomes easier to behave like that person. How to change your identity. First, let go of old beliefs. If you tell yourself, I'm lazy, that belief will destroy your progress. Replace it with, I am disciplined. I complete my work on time. Second, use positive affirmations. Tell yourself every day, I am capable of achieving my goals. I am a happy and successful person. Third, do new things and repeat them. Act like the person you want to become. If you want to be a writer, write every day. If you want to be a fit person, exercise daily. Fourth, collect evidence. Every time you practice a good habit, you strengthen your new identity. If you studied for 30 minutes today, you have evidence that you are a disciplined student. How habits change your identity. Every time you repeat a habit, it reinforces who you are becoming. If you study every day, you become a diligent student. If you run every day, you become a runner. James Clear explains it like voting. Each habit you repeat is a vote for the person you want to become. If you consistently choose the right habits, your new identity becomes permanent. The mantra of success. Most people follow this pattern. Have, do, be. I want to have success. I will do something. Then I will be successful. James Clear says you must reverse it. Be, do, have, I am a disciplined person. That's why I study every day. This is why I will have success. Start a new belief today. Decide who you want to be and build habits in that direction. As you follow your habits, your identity becomes stronger. Habits are the foundation of lifelong success. Chapter 6. The Art of Breaking and Changing Habits. Habits are like a double-edged sword. Good habits push you forward, bad habits pull you back. Story: Rebecca reduces screen time. Rebecca had a habit of spending too much time on her phone. Every night she promised herself, "Tomorrow I'll use my phone less." But nothing changed. Then she tried a new strategy. She deleted her social media apps and kept her phone in another room at a specific time every evening. Slowly, she broke the habit and used that time to study and exercise instead. 4 simple steps to breaking bad habits. 1. Make it invisible. Remove the trigger. If you watch too much TV, put the remote away. If you eat junk food, keep only healthy food in the house. 2. Make it unattractive. Think about the long-term damage. Example: if I keep smoking, I will destroy my health. If I keep using my phone at night, I will fall behind in my studies. 3. Make it difficult. Create obstacles between you and the bad habit. Give your phone's password to someone else. If junk food requires leaving the house, you'll naturally choose healthier food. 4. Make it unsatisfying. Hold yourself accountable. Ask a friend or family member to call you out if you repeat the habit. Give yourself a consequence when you fail. The process of changing a habit. Identify the habit holding you back. Example: staying up late, spending too much money. Unhealthy eating. Focus on one habit at a time. Don't try to change your entire life at once. Create a clear plan. Example: I will turn off my phone every night at 10 p.m. I will eat dinner earlier. Repeat the change. Repetition builds habits. The bad habit weakens automatically. The mantra to avoid bad habits: don't start. The easiest way to prevent a bad habit is to avoid the first step. The first time you stay up late makes the next time easier. The first time you eat junk food makes it easier to repeat. Avoid the first slip. A message for listeners: if you want to change your habits, start now. Stay connected with Audiobook Prime for motivational and educational content. Subscribe and commit to your own success. Chapter 7: 4 Ways to Make Habits Last. The 1% Rule. Consistency is the key to success. When you start a new habit, enthusiasm is high, but after a few weeks, it fades. James Clear explains that long-term habits require a system, not just motivation. Story: Adam's fitness journey. Adam decided in January that he would go to the gym every day. During the first week, he trained with full energy, but as the weeks passed, his motivation weakened. And he adopted 4 rules for building a habit. Now he not only goes to the gym every day, but it has become a natural part of his lifestyle. Rule 1: make it obvious. James Clear says that what you don't see can never become your priority. That's why you must build habits into your daily environment. Tips: if you want to wake up early and study, keep your books beside your bed. If you want to drink more water every day, keep a bottle of water in every corner of your house. Track your habits on a calendar so you can see your progress. Rule 2: make it attractive. Your habits will only stay with you if you enjoy doing them. James Clear calls this temptation bundling. How to apply it? If walking feels boring, combine it with listening to music or talking to a friend. If studying feels difficult, give yourself a 10-minute break after every hour. When you enjoy the habit, you won't want to give it up. Rule 3: make it simple. The journey of building a habit must feel easy. James Clear says habits grow from small steps. Set small goals at the beginning. If you want to read 10 pages a day, start with just 2 pages. If you want to lose weight, begin with a 10-minute walk. Remove obstacles. If going to the gym feels difficult, work out at home. If you watch too much TV, put the remote in a drawer. Rule 4: make it satisfying. Habits don't become permanent unless you enjoy completing them. How to do this? Give yourself a star every day you complete your habit. Reward yourself at the end of the week. Tell your friends that you reached your goal. Repeated habits are powerful. Every time you repeat a habit, you strengthen new pathways in your brain. As those pathways grow stronger, the habit becomes part of your identity. You don't remain just a person who goes to the gym. You become a fitness enthusiast. You don't remain someone who writes occasionally. You become an author. Your habits shape your future, and we are with you on every step that makes you better. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, do it today and join us on this journey to success. Chapter 8: The Secret of Identity. Change. Have you noticed how we become what we believe ourselves to be? James Clear says, habits aren't just tools, they are the foundation for identity change. When your habits match your identity, they naturally become a part of your life. The story of Natalie and her career. Natalie always dreamed of becoming a successful writer. She often imagined her book becoming a bestseller, but she never took action. Then she applied James Clear's teaching, work on your identity instead of your goals. Natalie began telling herself, I am a writer. She wrote a little every day, and slowly her identity as a writer began to grow. Today, her book is a bestseller. 2 steps to changing identity. Decide who you want to be. Understand the kind of person you want to become. If you want to be a fit person, learn what fit people do. If you want to be a better student, follow the habits of a good student. Connect your habits to your identity. Each time you practice a habit, tell yourself, I am doing this because I am a fit person. I'm studying because I am a hardworking student. Identity-based habits are powerful because once you see yourself as that person, sticking to the habit becomes natural. If you see yourself as a runner, waking up early becomes easier. If you see yourself as a creative person, learning new things feels natural. Small steps create a big identity. Your identity is built from small daily decisions. Every habit is a vote supporting the person you want to become. Every gym session is a vote for becoming a fit person. Every book you read is a vote for becoming a strong reader. Identity change takes time, but once your habits align with your identity, they stay forever. Ask yourself who you want to be. Are your habits taking you closer to that person or farther away? Chapter 9. The Magic of Consistency. The magic isn't in big leaps. It is in small steps repeated every day. James Clear explains that habits become permanent only when practiced consistently. The story of Caleb's morning practice. Caleb decided he would wake up every morning to meditate. On the first day, he felt inspired and completed his meditation. On the second day, he woke up but didn't feel as energetic. On the third day, he questioned whether he should continue. Not doing it for a day felt like it would break the habit, but he remembered James Clear's words. Consistency matters more than perfect action. So he continued meditating for a short time every single day. After 6 months, he realized that his mind had become calmer, clearer, and more stable. Consistency is powerful because small daily steps create massive transformation. Tiny actions prepare your mind and body for a new habit. If you improve by just 1% each day, you become 47 times better by the end of the year. But if you decline by 1% daily, your progress drops to 0. James Clear explains that consistency turns habits into a natural part of your life. If you study every day, it becomes a routine instead of a burden. If you exercise a little each day, going to the gym will no longer feel like a chore. How to maintain consistency? Adopt the minimum action rule. When a habit feels difficult, do the smallest version of it. If you can't study, read 2 pages. If you don't feel like working out, do 5 push-ups. Motivate yourself through tracking. Mark your calendar every day you stay consistent so you don't break your streak. Remind yourself why you started. Whenever you feel discouraged, ask yourself, is this taking me closer to the person I want to become? A message for listeners of eAudio FM. Consistency pulls you toward success. We are here to guide you step by step and make your journey easier. Stay tuned to eAudio FM because every day of effort brings you closer to your goals. Chapter 10. How to overcome obstacles to habits. The path to success is never straight. Obstacles make you stronger. In this chapter, James Clear explains how to overcome challenges and keep moving toward your goals. Aaron's struggle. Aaron set a goal to run every morning. For the first few weeks, he was consistent. Then it began to rain. The next day, he came home late from work. Slowly, his running habit broke. One day he realized that if he kept making excuses, his goal would remain unfinished. He identified his obstacles and learned how to overcome them. Common obstacles and how to solve them. Problem 1, lack of time. James Clear's solution: study your schedule and make space for small habits. If you don't have an hour, give 10 minutes. A little progress is always better than none. Problem 2, lack of motivation. Make your habit easy and enjoyable. If you don't feel like going to the gym, do a short workout at home. If you don't feel like studying, start with an easy topic. Problem 3, the wrong environment. Shape your environment to support your habit. If you want to read, keep the book where you can see it. If you want to quit junk food, don't bring it home. Problem 4. Making excuses. Whenever you catch yourself making excuses, ask, is this excuse stopping my progress? Appreciate your small steps. Forgive yourself if you miss a day. One day's failure does not break a habit. Starting again is what matters. Be flexible. When obstacles appear, find an alternative. If you can't run outside, stretch or do yoga at home. If time is short, break the habit into smaller parts. Celebrate your progress. Every time you overcome an obstacle, acknowledge it. It makes you mentally stronger. Stay connected. Your habits shape your future. Every small step and every obstacle you defeat becomes part of your success story. Stay connected with Audio FM and keep directing your habits toward success, because success is waiting for you. Chapter 11. Making habits a part of your life. Habits only become powerful when they become part of who you are. James Clear explains how to make habits feel natural, not like pressure or obligation. Story: Selena's identity. Selena always dreamed of becoming a writer, but whenever she sat down to write, it felt like a burden. She doubted herself. Every time she failed to write, she felt she wasn't capable of being a writer. Then she read a book by James Clear and learned one powerful lesson: connect your habit to your identity. She began telling herself every day, I am a writer, and writers write. Gradually, writing became part of her identity, not just an activity. The science of linking habits with identity. Start with identity. Decide who you want to be. I am a reader. I am a fit person. Do actions that support that identity. Every time you practice the habit, you strengthen your identity. 5 minutes of reading makes you a reader. 10 minutes of walking makes you a healthier person. Let go of your old identity. Many people hold on to beliefs like, I'm lazy, I'm not consistent, I always fail. Replace them with, I am disciplined, I am hardworking, I am improving every day. When your habits align with your identity, they stop feeling like tasks and become a natural part of your life. 3 steps help make habits a natural part of your life. Repeat your habits regularly. As you repeat an action over time, it becomes part of your identity. Every time you run, you strengthen the identity of a runner. Celebrate small victories. Every bit of progress reinforces who you are becoming. Finishing a book makes you a reader. Waking up early makes you a disciplined person. Change your story. Whenever you speak to yourself, choose a positive identity. Don't say, I'm always late. Say, I work on time and take responsibility for my actions. James Clear's important message: your habits should not simply be the result of your actions. They should reflect your identity. When you develop the right identity, your habits naturally fall into place. Chapter 12. Build the right system, build the right habits. Your success is shaped not by your goals, but by your systems. Goals point you in a direction, but systems move you forward. Adrian's story shows why systems matter. Every January, Adrian set a fitness goal. I want to lose 10 kilos this year. But year after year, he failed. One day he realized the problem wasn't the goal, it was the system. He had goals, but no structure to support them. After reading James Clear's teachings, he understood that goals provide direction, but systems make progress possible. Adrian created a simple system. He committed to going to the gym 3 days a week without excuses. Gradually, his weight decreased, his confidence grew, and fitness became part of his lifestyle. Why systems are important. Goals are temporary. Once you achieve a goal, it ends. But systems last forever. For example, if your goal is to read a book, you finish it and stop. But if you build a reading system, the habit stays with you for life. Systems help you progress every day. Small actions build momentum. If you improve 1 minute a day, you can improve 10 minutes in a year. How to build the right system. Start with small changes to produce big results. Break habits into small chunks. If you want to run for 30 minutes a day, begin with 5. Use triggers. Attach habits to existing routines. After drinking tea, read for 5 minutes. Before going to the gym, place your shoes where you can see them. Maintain regularity. Build a system that you can follow consistently. Consistency is better than perfection. Measure your success. Track your progress each week or month. Seeing results motivates you and helps you fix your mistakes. Why systems change your identity. When you adopt a system, you strengthen your habits. Those who run become runners. Those who read become readers. Your systems and habits together shape who you become. You become the person your habits lead you to be. Chapter 13. How to make habits more effective. Creating habits is important, but making them effective and sustainable is even more powerful. Renee's story demonstrates this. Renee was preparing for civil service exams. Every year she started studying with enthusiasm, but it faded within 2 or 3 months. A friend asked her, "You study so hard. Why do you still fall behind?" Renee didn't know the answer. One day she read Atomic Habits and learned a powerful truth. It's not enough to form habits. You must make them effective and sustainable. She began making small improvements. She fixed a study schedule. She kept her phone away. She completed her daily goals. Slowly, her habits strengthened and her preparation improved dramatically. 4 rules for making habits effective. Simplify habits. The simpler the task, the easier it is to repeat. Keep your books on your table where you can see them. Keep your running shoes outside so they're ready to use. Make habits attractive. Enjoying a habit makes you repeat it more. Reward yourself with your favorite tea after studying. Listen to music after a workout. Make habits regular. Set a fixed time and place. Meditate every morning at 7 a.m. Read every night at 9 p.m. before bed. Measure progress. Write down every improvement. Track your progress on paper or a calendar. This boosts motivation and gives you clarity. Learn from mistakes. James Clear says, "No habit is perfect. You will break your routine sometimes, but the most important thing is to begin again the next day." Habits become effective when they become your system, and your system becomes part of your identity. When habits feel natural and easy to follow, you stay committed for the long term. Bad habits. Chapter 14. The Science of Changing Bad Habits. Changing bad habits is difficult, but not impossible. James Clear explains how we can identify harmful patterns and turn them into positive habits. Story: Samuel's bad habit. Samuel had a habit of checking his phone repeatedly while studying. Every 10 minutes, he looked at notifications and lost focus. He always told himself, "I'll stop tomorrow," but nothing changed. After reading Atomic Habits, he realized that bad habits don't just waste time, they also damage your mindset. Samuel followed 3 steps to change his habit. He identified the trigger. He discovered that he checked his phone every time he felt bored. He removed the trigger. He placed his phone in another room while studying. He added new habits. Whenever he felt bored, he took a 5-minute break and went for a short walk. Gradually, the bad habit disappeared and his concentration improved. 3 easy steps for changing bad habits. Identify the trigger. Every bad habit begins with a trigger. If you eat junk food often, ask whether you're hungry or simply acting out of habit. If you spend hours on social media, ask when and why you do it. Remove or change the trigger. Change your environment. If you watch TV late at night, put the remote in another room. If you sleep late, place your alarm far away so you must get up to turn it off. Add new habits. Don't just remove a bad habit. Replace it with a positive one. If you drink too much tea or coffee, start drinking green tea. If you check your phone constantly, replace that time with reading. James Clear believes that people succeed by making gradual improvements, not by quitting habits overnight. If you improve just 1% a day, you can improve by up to 86% in a year. You can eliminate a bad habit while building a good one at the same time. Why bad habits are hard to break. They require little effort. Overeating, scrolling, or staying up late is easy. They provide instant pleasure, even though the long-term consequences are negative. They become automatic when repeated over time. The right way to change bad habits: focus on long-term harm. Ask how this habit affects your future. Adopt a new identity. Tell yourself, "I am not lazy. I am hardworking. I am not unhealthy. I am active and fit." Track your journey. Write down your progress. Tracking progress builds motivation. Chapter 15. The long-term effect of habits. Habits are the blueprint of your future. James Clear explains that habits quietly shape your life, and although the changes are subtle at first, they eventually determine your success or failure. The story of Ronald, Simon, and Ryan. They graduated together from the same college, but their lives moved in very different directions. Simon made it a habit to read for 15 minutes every morning. Ryan worked an extra 15 minutes every day. Ronald ignored habits and simply moved with the flow of life. At first, the differences were small. 5 years later, everything had changed. Simon became a successful businessman because he learned new skills through reading. Ryan became a manager because his consistent hard work paid off. Ronald remained stuck in the same place. James Clear says, small changes over time create huge results. The law of long-term impact. The compounding effect, small improvements, create big outcomes. If you improve one thing every day, you become 40 times better in a year. But if you decline by just a little every day, only 3% of your potential remains. If you study 15 minutes a day, that becomes 90 hours in a year. But wasting 15 minutes daily also loses 90 hours. Don't ignore slow progress. Small changes don't show results instantly, but they create powerful long-term transformations. A little exercise daily will gradually improve your body. Saving a small amount each day grows into a large sum over time. Habits shape identity. If you write every day, you begin to see yourself as a writer. If you exercise daily, you start identifying as a fit and active person. How to maintain long-term habits. Start with small goals. Don't begin with major changes. Say, I will study for 5 minutes today, instead of, I'll study 30 minutes daily. Track your progress. Record your journey on paper or in an app. When you see progress, motivation grows. Identify your why. Every habit needs a reason. Ask yourself, I want to study because I want to build my future. I want to pass my exams. Why do I exercise? Because I want to be healthy. Improve your environment. Your environment has a powerful influence on your habits. If you want to eat healthy, keep only healthy food in your refrigerator. If you want to study effectively, keep your study materials clean and organized. The long-term effects of bad habits. James Clear says that just as good habits lead you toward success, bad habits gradually push you toward failure. If you keep eating junk food, you will gain weight. If you keep wasting time, you won't achieve your dreams. Identify bad habits and improve them before they shape your future. Chapter 16. Turn habits into a system. Focus on building a system instead of chasing goals. James Clear explains that we often set goals, but without a system, goals remain dreams. A system is the method, the structure, that makes habits automatic and long-lasting. Understand the difference between goals and systems. Goals represent the outcome. I want to lose 5 kilos. Systems represent the process. I will exercise for 30 minutes and eat healthy every day. Goals show direction. Systems create movement. The secret of a cricketer's success. A famous athlete once said he never thinks about scores. His focus is on practice, playing 100 balls every day, staying fit, and keeping his mind calm. Scores and trophies are just the results of a strong system. Success belongs to those who perfect their process. How to create a system. Break your habit into small parts. If you want to study daily, divide your study time like this. Morning, 15 minutes revision. Afternoon, 30 minutes new topic. Evening, 15 minutes quiz. Create a way to measure your progress. Write down what you did or track it in an app. This motivates you to continue. Prepare your environment. If you want to study, remove distractions. Keep only study materials on your table. Enjoy your system. Don't treat your habits like punishment. Make them enjoyable. If you're working out, listen to your favorite music. Mistakes to avoid. Don't focus only on the goal. When you reach a goal, you often return to your old habits. If you lose weight but don't maintain your system, the weight comes back. Don't focus solely on the result. Don't think, I want to rank first, but think, I will study every day. Keep updating your system. As your goals evolve, your system must grow with them. Practical tips for building a system. Improve step by step. Don't try to change everything at once. Start with one habit. Master it before adding more. Seek positive feedback. Praise yourself when you follow your habits. Set specific times for each habit. Exercise at 7 a.m., study at 9 p.m. The impact of turning habits into a system. James Clear says your systems create your real identity. A strong system builds strong habits. Strong habits build a strong life. Chapter 17. the relationship between habits and identity. Your habits create your identity. James Clear explains that identity and habits cannot be separated. Your habits shape your beliefs, and your beliefs reshape your habits. The cycle of identity. Thought: I am a responsible person. Habit: I complete my work on time. Outcome: my coworkers trust me. Habits reinforce identity, and identity strengthens habits. How to build identity-based habits. 1. Focus on who, not what. The wrong approach: I want to read a book. The right approach: I am a reader. When you build habits based on identity, they become permanent. 2. Take a small step. If you want to feel fit, exercise for 5 minutes a day. Small steps strengthen your new identity. 3. Gather evidence, and your habits become proof of who you are becoming. Identity: I am a writer. Habit: I write 100 words a day. Evidence: I wrote 3,000 words this month. Story: becoming a runner. A man who never enjoyed running started telling himself, I am a runner. He began running 1 kilometer a day. Slowly, he increased his distance. Within months, he proudly introduced himself as a runner. Small habits built a powerful identity. Letting go of old identities. Old beliefs often hold you back. Thoughts like, I am lazy, destroy your progress. James Clear says, if you are ready to change your identity, your habits will follow. Adopt a new identity. I am disciplined. I use my time wisely. 3 steps to changing your identity. Challenge your new identity. Identify negative beliefs and replace them with positive ones. Instead of saying, I am weak in math, replace it with, I can improve in math. Strengthen this new belief by doing something every day that supports it. If your new identity is, I am a good speaker, practice speaking for 5 minutes daily. Over time, these small actions make your new identity permanent. If your identity is, I am a healthy person, reinforce it by eating healthy food every day. Story: a student's success. A student who once struggled academically began to see himself as a hardworking learner. He started studying for just 1 hour each day. Within a few months, he transformed completely, and now proudly sees himself as a top performer. James Clear says, your habits shape your identity. A question for you: how do you see yourself? If you want to become a better version of yourself, adopt a stronger identity and build habits that align with it. Chapter 18: 4 Rules for Changing Habits. James Clear teaches 4 simple rules for changing habits. These rules align with how the brain works, making habits easy to build and easier to keep. Rule 1: make it obvious. Habits don't form until you clearly decide what to do. How to apply habit stacking. Attach a new habit to an existing one. Examples: when I wake up in the morning, I will drink 2 glasses of water. When I reach the office, I will finish 1 task before drinking tea. Rule 2: prepare the environment. Create a space that supports your new habit. Example: if you want to study, keep your books and notebooks neatly arranged on a clean table. Story: a man wanted to develop the habit of going to the gym every day. He placed his gym clothes and shoes next to his bed. Seeing them first thing in the morning made it easy for him to get started, and gradually, going to the gym became a natural habit. Rule 3: make it attractive. Repeat habits that feel enjoyable. How to apply it. A. Use dopamine rewards. Make your new behavior feel rewarding. Example: if I study for 30 minutes, I will listen to my favorite music for 10 minutes. B. Use the power of community. Surround yourself with people who already have the habits you want. Example: if you want to become fit, spend time with friends who go to the gym. Story: a girl used colorful notes for each subject to make studying enjoyable. She studied with her friends, turning learning into something fun and inspiring. Rule 4: make it easy. If a habit feels difficult, you'll avoid it, so simplify the process. How to apply it? Start small. Exercise for just 5 minutes a day. Read just 1 page every day. Reduce friction. Make the habit easy to begin. Example: if you want to eat healthy, keep cut fruits ready in your refrigerator. Story: a man wanted to read daily. He turned off the notifications on his phone and kept his book beside his pillow every night. With easy access, reading became part of his routine. Make it satisfying. We repeat habits that reward us immediately. How to apply it? Give yourself a small reward after completing your habit. Example: if I study for 1 hour, I will watch my favorite show afterward. Track your progress. Example, put a tick mark on your calendar every day you follow the habit. Story, a student placed a big red tick on his calendar every day he studied. Seeing the marks grow gave him satisfaction, motivating him to continue. 4 rules summarized for you. Make it obvious. Decide what, when, and where. Make it attractive. Make it enjoyable. Make it easy. Start small and reduce friction. Make it satisfying. Reward yourself and track progress. James Clear says that small, consistent habits eventually reshape your identity and transform you into the person you want to become. Chapter 19. Change your identity, change your habits. Your habits are not just what you do. Your habits are who you are. James Clear explains that to change habits permanently, you must focus on changing identity, not just behavior. What are identity-based habits? Identity-based habits grow from the inside out. External, goal-based change. I want to lose weight. Internal, identity-based change. I am a fit person. When you adopt the internal identity, going to the gym no longer feels like a chore. It becomes part of who you are. If you see yourself as a creative writer, writing daily doesn't feel like pressure. It becomes part of your natural self. External changes may fade. Internal changes last. James Clear says that when you focus on changing who you believe you are, your habits will follow automatically. How to change habits? Yourself, define your identity. First, decide who you want to become. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be? Which habits reflect this new identity? Gather small pieces of evidence. Every new habit becomes proof of your identity. If you want to become an avid reader, reading just 1 page a day is powerful evidence. If you want to become financially responsible, every effort to save money strengthens that identity. Challenge your old identity. If you used to think I'm lazy, now prove through your habits that you are hardworking. Let go of negative identities. Replace I always give up with I am someone who faces challenges. Story, the magic of identity. Change. A man trying to quit smoking changed his identity first. Whenever someone offered him a cigarette, he said, "No, thank you, I don't smoke." That small sentence reflected who he wanted to become. Gradually, he began to see himself as a non-smoker, and the habit faded. A student who once viewed himself as a failure adopted a new identity. I am a hardworking student. He started studying a little every day. Eventually, he rose to the top of his class. The power of a new identity. When habits become part of your identity, they become hard to abandon. Someone who calls himself a runner won't stop running. Leave behind old identities. Let go of who you were. Look at yourself with fresh eyes. Connect habits to identity. Start with, who am I becoming? Ask yourself, what would make you proud? What is my purpose? Make each habit proof of who you are becoming. Every small action reinforces your identity. Strengthen your identity over time. Habits take time to grow, but they permanently reshape who you are. Conclusion. If you want true change, make it part of your identity. Real transformation begins with identity, not habits. Chapter 20. Building the right habits, eliminating bad ones. Your life is shaped by your habits. To change your life, you must build good habits and break the harmful ones. James Clear explains how to master both. 4 laws for building good habits. 1. Make it obvious. Place the habit directly in front of you. If you want to drink more water, keep a bottle on your table. To break a bad habit, remove it. If you want to watch less TV, hide the remote control. 2. Make it attractive. Make your new habit enjoyable. If you want to exercise, do it while playing your favorite music. To break a bad habit, make it unattractive. If you want to reduce fast food, think about the cost to your health every time you crave it. 3. Make it easy. The easier the habit, the faster it forms. If you want to study more, start with just 2 pages. To break a bad habit, make it difficult. If you want to cut down screen time, put a password on your phone. 4. Make it satisfying. Reward yourself for completing the habit. If you run in the morning, enjoy a healthy smoothie afterward. To break a bad habit, make it unsatisfying. For example, set an alarm every hour to remind yourself how often you use your phone. The irritation will help you reduce usage. Understand the root of habits. Habits are not random actions. They follow a psychological pattern. Q. Something triggers the habit. Example. The feeling of evening relaxation triggers your tea habit. Craving, the cue, creates a desire. You crave the warmth or comfort of tea? Response: you act on the craving. You make the tea. Reward: you enjoy the satisfaction, which encourages you to repeat the habit. If you want to change a habit, you must understand and control these 4 steps. 4 laws of breaking bad habits, the reverse laws. Make it invisible. Hide the triggers. If you want to stop snacking, don't keep chips or chocolate in the house. Make it unattractive. Think deeply about the negative consequences. If I eat fast food every day, my health will suffer. Make it difficult. Increase the effort required. If you shop too much, lock your credit card away. Make it unsatisfying. Ask a friend to hold you accountable every time you repeat the bad habit. Story: habits and consequences. Raymond used to perform the same bad habit every night before bed. He needed to build the habit of reading books. He began keeping a book next to his pillow. Every night before going to sleep, he saw the book and read a few pages. Shane, on the other hand, had a habit of scrolling through his phone late at night. He replaced his phone with an alarm clock and kept the phone in another room while sleeping. Gradually, this change helped him break the habit. Habits and environment. Your environment has a powerful influence on your behavior. If you want to adopt good habits, shape your surroundings to support them. Keep fruits and vegetables in your refrigerator to support healthy eating. Create a quiet, peaceful place if you want to study. And to break bad habits, remove the triggers from your environment. Conclusion: forming good habits and eliminating bad ones is an art. It is not easy, but it is absolutely possible. James Clear teaches that with the right strategies, patience, and consistency, you can create incredible changes in your life. Chapter 21: Maintaining Habits for the Long Term. The habits you begin today determine the direction of your life. Habit building is not a one-day process. Good habits produce results only when practiced consistently over time. Many people start habits but fail to maintain them, usually because they set big expectations or try to change too much at once. Tips for maintaining good habits: start with small goals. Begin with something easy, like meditating for 5 minutes, and increase gradually. Use healthy substitutions. Replace a bad habit with a good one. For example, read a book instead of scrolling through your phone at night. Consistency is key. It is better to spend a few minutes on your habit every day than to skip the entire week. The 2-minute rule. James Clear's famous rule says, any habit can begin with just 2 minutes. Examples: if you want to start going to the gym, go for only 2 minutes the first day. If you want to read more, start with 2 pages a day. These small beginnings boost motivation and help you stay consistent. Tracking and reporting habits. Tracking your habits greatly increases motivation. How to track them? Write your habits in a diary. Use apps to follow your progress. Tracking allows you to see improvement and stay accountable. 4 ways to reach your habit. Goals. 1. Create a strong cue. Your habit needs a trigger. If you want to wake up early, keep your alarm clock far from your bed so you must get up. If you want to meditate, keep your yoga mat ready in your room. 2. Have a backup plan. Life doesn't always go as planned. If you can't go to the gym, do a 10-minute workout at home. If you can't study at home, read while traveling. 3. Focus on intrinsic motivation. External rewards are temporary. You need internal reasons why this habit matters to you. Examples: I am building this habit to improve my mental and physical health. This habit will help me understand my priorities better. 4. Strengthen habits through repetition. Repetition makes habits stronger. Consistency matters more than perfection. If you meditate for 10 minutes daily, try increasing it slowly. Small improvements compound into big changes. In summary, maintaining the right habits builds stability and long-term success. With the right techniques and strong inner motivation, your habits will grow stronger over time. Building habits is a journey, one you can keep improving. Now for a small reminder, if you're joining this journey with us, subscribe to eAudio FM. You'll receive updates on new books, new habits, and everything that supports your success. Stay tuned. Your path to success begins here. Page 22. The stability of habits. Every habit is like a brick in the structure of your life. If you place each brick correctly, it creates a strong foundation that becomes more powerful over time. James Clear explains that the stability of habits does not depend only on effort. It depends on your mindset and your consistent relationship with the habits you build. Habits are the foundation of life. Stability. To achieve stability in any area of life, your habits must remain stable first. Habits act as the foundation of a building. If the foundation is solid, the entire structure stands strong. How to build strong habits. When developing stable habits, remember that they will impact every part of your life. Good habits improve your physical health, mental clarity, and financial well-being. Even small habits, drinking water in the morning, taking a short walk, create long-term benefits. Identity-based habits create permanence. Identity-based habits are the strongest kind of habits. When you attach a habit to your identity, it becomes almost unbreakable. How to build identity-based habits. Tell yourself, I am a healthy person, and then take small daily actions based on that belief. Once these habits become part of your identity, they become stable, automatic, and long-lasting. The power of habits leave a strong impression on your mind. Each small action strengthens this impression and reinforces the habit. How to strengthen your habits. The best way to strengthen a habit is simply to start it. Once a habit is established, it becomes second nature. Associate your habits with positive feelings. When they feel natural, they become easier to follow. Flexibility. Within your habits, life does not always go as planned. You must allow flexibility within your routine so you can continue even during unexpected situations. Tips for flexibility. If you miss a day, forgive yourself and start again the next day. Flexibility does not mean abandoning your habits. It means continuing despite small challenges. Creating systems that support habits. Focusing only on outcomes is not enough. You must build a system that makes your habits easy and consistent. Ways to create a system. Build a strong structure that supports your goals. If your goal is to read 10 pages daily, create a system where you begin reading every morning. Create a schedule that allows you to complete your habits without excuses. Internal satisfaction over external rewards. External rewards may motivate you temporarily, but internal satisfaction builds stability. When you practice a habit for its own sake, like exercising for health, the satisfaction comes from within. A habit becomes stable when it becomes part of your identity, regardless of whether anyone acknowledges it. The process of habit. Habit change is a gradual journey. It won't happen overnight, but small, steady efforts create long-lasting transformation. Steps to make change. Start small and stay consistent. Evaluate your progress and improve what isn't working. Remember, building habits takes time, but when done properly, they become permanent. Summary. To make habits last, connect them to your identity. Focus on internal satisfaction rather than external praise. Give yourself time. Habits need space to grow and become part of your life. And to make your journey even more meaningful, stay connected with Audio FM, where you'll find powerful books and life-changing insights on habits and success. Chapter 23. Continuous improvement with habits. If you make each day slightly better than the last, you'll gradually lift your entire life to a new level. James Clear explains that habits are not just a beginning, they are a continuous process of improvement. Your habits can become a permanent force for growth if you keep refining them and improving your daily routine. The importance of small improvements. The principle of small improvements teaches us that good results rarely come from sudden, dramatic changes. Real transformation happens through small, steady improvements repeated over time. Even the smallest change can lead to a massive result if it is applied correctly and consistently. How to make small improvements. Begin with simple adjustments to your habits, such as meditating for 5 minutes a day or taking a 10-minute walk every morning. When these small actions become a natural part of your lifestyle, they blend into your routine effortlessly. The principle of continuous improvement. This principle states that improvement is always possible, even if it is tiny. If you upgrade yourself day by day, within a few months, you will notice powerful changes in your habits and your life. How to apply this principle. Add a small habit every day. Learn something new. Revise an old lesson. or reflect on a past goal. Review your progress weekly or monthly and take the next step toward improvement. The power of 1% improvement. James Clear explains that improving just one habit by 1% each day leads to exponential growth over a year. This is the power of compounding. Small, consistent improvements create extraordinary long-term results. How to improve one habit at a time. If you read 10 pages a day, increase it to 11 the next week. Gradually expand and upgrade your habits. These small adjustments transform your entire system, maintaining consistency. In habits. Consistency is the engine of success. A habit becomes part of your life only when you stay committed to it. Ways to stay consistent. Keep your habits simple and manageable. Schedule important habits early in your day. Create a plan and follow it so you do not feel tempted to quit. Habit stacking. Habit stacking means linking one habit to another. It is a powerful technique that stabilizes and strengthens your routine. When a new habit attaches itself to an existing one, it becomes easier to repeat and maintain. How to use habit stacking. Add a new habit right after an old one. For example, after drinking your morning tea, meditate for 8 minutes. This natural link makes the change effortless. Tracking your habits. If you can't measure something, you can't improve it. Tracking helps you understand your progress and identify what needs adjustment. Ways to track habits. Keep a journal where you record your habits every day. This reminds you of what you accomplished and what you skipped. Notice your improvement patterns and identify which habits give you the most benefit, shifting your habits in the right direction. Your habits should evolve as your life evolves. They don't need to stay the same forever. How to adapt habits. If a habit stops serving you, reshape it. Redesign your habits based on your new goals and circumstances. Summary. This chapter teaches us that continuous improvement and small, steady changes transform our lives. Small improvements, consistency, and direction give you the power to reach success in any area. If you strengthen your habits with purpose and discipline, you can go anywhere in life. Chapter 24. The compound effect of habits. Our small daily habits build into massive success. James Clear explains that every small action we repeat becomes part of a larger change. This effect multiplies over time, creating extraordinary results. The ripple effect of habits. Your habits shape not just your day, but your entire life. When you begin a habit, its results may not appear immediately, but over time, it touches every aspect of your life and pulls you closer to your goals. A small action grows into a powerful force when repeated consistently. A 10-minute exercise routine may seem insignificant on the first day, but months later your fitness transforms. Studying for 10 minutes a day doesn't seem like much, but over time it builds deep knowledge and lasting success. Just like a stone dropped into water creates ripples, one habit spreads its effect into other areas of your life. A healthy eating habit improves your sleep, your energy, and your mental clarity. When you regularly give yourself time to, this boosts your confidence and helps you succeed in other areas of your life as well. When a habit becomes stable, it supports you long-term without effort. It blends naturally into your routine and becomes a part of who you are. How to make habits. Connect your habits to a fixed schedule. For example, drink water every morning when you wake up, or read for 15 minutes every evening. Track your habits so you can see how long you've stayed consistent. This record motivates you and strengthens your commitment. How to build strong habits. Many people fail because they give up too quickly. To build strong habits, you need a strong mindset. Tips for building strong habits. Start with tiny steps. Exercise for 5 minutes or read 5 pages. When you begin small, your confidence grows and adopting bigger habits becomes easier. Maintaining consistency. Habits only become powerful when they are repeated consistently. Whether in fitness, studies, or personal growth, success comes from showing up every day. How to stay consistent. Do your habit daily, even if only for a few minutes. Keep the process simple so you can continue without hesitation. The impact of invisible habits. Some habits are not visible, yet they shape your personality and your results. Positive thinking, speaking kindly to yourself, practicing patience. These are invisible habits that gradually transform your character and your success. Summary. This chapter shows that habits influence every part of life. Small improvements, repeated with consistency, create powerful long-term changes. Working on your habits with this understanding will prepare you to live a stronger, more successful life. Chapter 25, The Cycle of Success. Every habit is part of a cycle, a loop that shapes your thoughts, actions, and results. When you begin a good habit, it gradually reprograms your mind and leads you toward success. The first step, belief. Belief is the seed of every habit. You must believe you can change. This belief becomes the foundation for a new, positive routine. How to strengthen belief? Promise yourself that you will change. Celebrate small wins, such as completing your habit for one day. The connection between thoughts and habits. Your thoughts shape your actions. When you think purposefully and positively, your habits follow the same direction. How to guide your thoughts. Start each morning with positive intentions. Review your achievements at night and plan how to improve tomorrow. Small changes, big results. Success grows from small daily steps. A little improvement each day becomes a major transformation over time. How to begin? Focus on one habit at a time. Ask yourself, how can I improve this habit today? Analyzing results. When you pay attention to what your habits produce, you discover what works and what needs change. How to evaluate weekly. Check which habits move you closer to your goals. Identify which ones slow you down, creating a permanent cycle of success. When your habits become permanent, this cycle becomes part of your life. It helps you achieve your goals and continuously improve. How to strengthen the cycle? Celebrate your progress. Prepare for new challenges. Use your habits to build the next level of success. Summary. The cycle of success is built from your thoughts, your habits, and your results. Starting is simple, but maintaining it requires consistency. Once this cycle becomes part of your life, it has the power to transform everything. Chapter 26, Mastery of Habits. Habits are more than tools. They can become your greatest source of power. When you master a habit, it fuels your life with energy and makes the impossible possible. What habit mastery means? Mastery is when a habit becomes part of your identity. A true writer cannot imagine life without writing. A true singer cannot imagine life without singing. A mastered habit feels essential, like a natural part of your existence. The beginning of mastery. How to practice small habits consistently begins with one question: can I turn this habit into part of my identity? The importance of consistency. Consistency is the true power behind mastery. When you repeat a habit without fail, it becomes your strength, something that grows stronger with time. How to maintain consistency. Schedule time for your habits every day. Give each habit its own place in your routine, so it becomes natural to follow. Chapter 27, Lifelong Habits. Habits are not only tools for reaching goals, they shape the direction of your entire life. When you adopt the right habits and maintain them, they become the foundation of your success, not just today, but for the years ahead. The power of stability. When you decide to follow a habit long-term, that commitment becomes the strongest pillar in your life. Every small habit contributes to your future success in ways you may not notice immediately, but deeply feel over time. How to create lifelong habits. Motivate yourself repeatedly to stay committed. Let your habits become so natural that they continue even without effort. Building identity. Through habits, your habits guide your journey from "I can do this" to "I am this." When a habit becomes part of your identity, you never abandon it. How to strengthen identity. Choose habits that align with your long-term goals. See yourself every day as the person you are becoming. Learning from successes and failures. Life will always bring setbacks. Some days, your habits may break, but building lifelong habits means learning from failures rather than fearing them. How to recover from failure. Accept mistakes without judgment. Never give up. Begin again the next day. Treat every setback as an opportunity to improve. The power of small wins. Small wins create momentum. Each small achievement moves you closer to a major breakthrough. How to focus on small wins. Celebrate every small goal. Allow tiny victories to inspire you forward, steps toward an ideal life. When your habits become permanent, they build your ideal life, one filled not only with success, but with contentment and balance. How to move toward that life. Continue improving your habits. Reevaluate and upgrade them regularly. Summary: lifelong habits define who you become. They guide you toward a balanced, successful, meaningful life. Start strengthening your habits today and let them guide your future. Final chapter: the essence and conclusion of habits. Atomic Habits is not just a book about daily routines. It is a philosophy of life. It reveals how small choices, repeated consistently, can reshape your entire world. The impact of small habits. Small habits practiced daily bring powerful transformation. Their influence extends to personal growth, relationships, health, finances, everything. Key lessons. 1. The rule of 1. Be 1% better each day. Let small improvements become part of your life rather than a burden. 2. Prioritize the process. Your journey matters more than the destination. When you fall in love with the process, habits become your identity, and success becomes inevitable. Build your system strong enough to carry you to your goals. 3. Identity and belief. Habits cannot succeed unless you believe in yourself. This book teaches you to see yourself as someone capable of transformation. How to strengthen your identity. Remind yourself daily that you have power to change. Celebrate small victories and let them shape your self-image. 4. Welcome failure. Failure is not the end. It is part of the process. Habit breakdowns will happen, and that is normal. What to do when you fail? Accept it calmly. Reevaluate your system. Begin again with clarity. 5. Mastery of habits. Mastery grows when habits become natural parts of your lifestyle. Mastery takes time, patience, and repetition, but every step is worth it. Conclusion: a new beginning. You do not need huge steps to change your life. Small habits lay the foundation for big transformation. This journey should feel simple, enjoyable, and inspiring. Adopt small habits. Embrace continuous growth. Build your new identity day by day. This is the true essence of Atomic Habits. And so, as we reach the final page of this journey, remember this: real transformation doesn't begin with giant leaps. It begins with one small step you choose to take today. Your future is being built quietly, patiently, through the habits you embrace every single day. If this audiobook has inspired you, if even one idea has sparked a new beginning in your life, then stay with us. Because every week we bring you more powerful books, more life-changing ideas, and more stories that help you grow into the person you're meant to become. So before you go, make sure you subscribe to Audiobook Prime. Join our growing family of listeners who are improving their lives, one chapter at a time. Hit subscribe, stay with us, and let's continue this journey of growth together. Your new life begins with a single habit, and your next chapter begins with a single click. Subscribe now, and I'll meet you in the next audiobook.